Breaking news, I want to point out something I have noticed on social media posts that don't get enough attention. Whenever anyone shows the destruction from the genocide that took place in Gaza, including the destruction in South Lebanon, I can't help but notice what a depraved outlook these Israeli supporters have toward innocent civilians who live in Gaza and South Lebanon. For instance, in this video I've been sharing, showing Gaza, let me read some of the comments. One says, Gaza isn't a camp. Also, Hamas uses children as combatants. And if Gazans hadn't dedicated Gaza to trying to kill Israelis when they had the chance for peace, then they wouldn't be in this position. Another says, well, that's what happens when you invade another country. Kill hundreds, kidnap hundreds, and fire missiles into another country from your city-state. I mean, this is almost every comment on the video supporting what Israel did and approving the collective punishment of civilians. Look at this one. Start shit, get hit. Palestinians could have avoided all this by surrendering, but they didn't. That's on them. What a depraved society to think this way, especially when your country has the most advanced military in the world, with the highest technology known to man. And with all that, they destroyed 90% of Gaza to fight against people with guns. And they felt the need to do what they did. All I can think is that these commenters are the most depraved people. I like to think this is a one-off, but when I speak to people who support Israel, I hear this from almost every single person I talk to. They approve of the mass destruction and tell me that it's a FAFO situation. Honestly, I want to ask all of you people, all of you listening to this, if Iran did this to a neighboring country or any other country in the Middle East did this to a neighboring country, especially if it was done to Israel, the Western countries would say that these governments have to go. Regime change. Am I right? Come out and say it, and I'm not going to toe the line about this. Israel as a state needs to be dismantled. It's a sick society. There shouldn't be an Israeli state if this is the result it produces. When I see people like Mahdi Hassan, and don't get me wrong, I like Mahdi and Chang from the Young Turks, and again, I like them too, but they will never call for the Israeli state to be dismantled. They will call them out for doing wrong, which I applaud them for, but they won't go too far and say they need to cease to exist. I think these guys get it wrong. The Israelis have no problem calling for Iran's government to be dismantled or the Lebanese government if they don't fall in line and do as Israel says. But we need to be worried to say Israel doesn't have a right to exist? I'm sorry. When you have Israelis posting